Just like to sleep game.
I know why I am here.
Time to get excited. Nintendo have dropped the final official trailer for Tears of the Kingdom, spanning 3 minutes of detail so jaw-droppingly good that it blew any expectations we had clean out of the park. From gameplay and story beats to a rousing score underpinning the visuals and setting the mood, the trailer hit the high mark set for it by Breath of the Wild's final trailer. We have a lot to talk about. Now, by no means is this an exhaustive review, and expect more details in future videos, but that said, there's plenty to cover and discoveries worth pointing out, as well as some takeouts and predictions towards the end of the video, so I'd hang in there for that. As always, thanks for joining me, let's get right into it. For the observations, there's a lot to cover, so let's work through them one by one. First of all, I have to say the graphics look spectacular. It really showcases the lighting and the Switch capabilities being pushed to the max. The scene opens with the Sky Islands, and one of the constructs here is toiling away at a tree, then seen cracking into this choo-choo. In the background though, it appears like some sort of item or rock is on top of the hill, and it very much reminded me of the Korok puzzles we had in Breath of the Wild. Next we see dark clouds surrounding these Sky Islands, and can't help but think that they may cloud the minimap until they're unlocked or be some sort of interference. We have a ring structure in the distance, and it appears to be around Kakariko Village, and we see it from various shots later on. I call this area New Hateno. It's featuring noticeable mushroom aesthetics, an interesting element considering the mushroom based concept art I discussed in the gameplay review video just the other day. The tower on Lanayru Mountain between the cedars is also a new feature, meaning they won't be like for like with the locations of the Sheikah towers we see in Breath of the Wild. This area looks like Castletown ruins, and we see military tents featuring the Highland Crest. Again, this is a difference from Breath of the Wild and what we would typically see in the same location. Next we see those green swirl portals and that ring around Kakariko Village mentioned earlier. It looks like a puzzle type mechanic, something I alluded to in the gameplay review, and possibly related to movement of the Sky Islands and unlocking certain aspects of game progression. The next shot is coming out of Typhlo Ruins, which is very interesting. I called out Typhlo Ruins in the Sheikah IMAP theory as significant, and we notice it does not appear to be shrouded in darkness. Off in the distance, we notice a thunderhead type vortex adorning the horizon, as well as what appears to be a pyramid structure on one of the Sky Islands. Next, we see the Gerudo Desert for the first time with what appears to be a massive structure rising out of the sands. The structure itself appears to be the Arbiter's Grounds, a popular location amongst fans, one that features heavily in Twilight Princess. The castle rises and we see Sheikah overlooking the event. Is this Hyrule from Breath of the Wild, or what Aonuma calls the unfamiliar Hyrule? More on that later. Next up, we see the fiery spaghetti head of what is almost certainly Demise, confirming a long-held theory of mine covered in videos and on the channel, including one specifically about Malice. As Link dives to save Zelda, we see his hand, which appears more charred with black and red colours. Again, reminiscent of Demise, so most likely this occurs after the Malice attack that we see later in the trailer. When Link reaches for Zelda, it's almost like his hand closes in a way it's being controlled. Is Demise controlling Link's arm here via the Malice? Back in the Gerudo Desert we notice sinkholes for the first time, and this answers a question I've had about a specific calamity that might happen in that region. Again, more on that later. Next up we see Link running through what appears to be a dungeon type location, which I highly suspect is within Death Mountain, noting Link is wearing his flame armor as well. The next scene is very reminiscent of Skyward Sword, where we see airships, very much akin to those we saw out in Lanayru Desert. I mentioned in the gameplay review that I felt like swimming was still a possibility just due to the animation with the ascend ability, and also the appearance of concept art featuring a swimming mushroom, but here we see Link jumping into a gravity water ball of some description, and again, indicating that swimming could be a core mechanic. Next up, we get our first look at a new garb of sorts, a wingsuit, which looks really interesting as this person's diving through lasers. This scene we suspect is inside the giant sphere sky island we see later in the trailer, and here you'll notice the sun symbology, a key aspect of the franchise in terms of the symbology around Hylia and the Japanese mythology in terms of the character of Amaterasu. The action heats up as we see Link riding a horse very reminiscent of Epona, with villagers and monsters battling it out at an iconic location, this one being Fort Hateno. For me, missing in this shot are any of the Guardian relics that we saw in Breath of the Wild, which again is indicating it might not be the same Hyrule that we're used to from Breath of the Wild. Who is this strange dark figure? Could it be the same one that we've seen in the monument from the previous trailers? I've got thoughts of my own which we'll cover in a future theory, but I'd love to hear what you think, so let me know in the comments. As Link turns to face the camera, we realise that this scene is inside the castle, specifically the sanctum where we fight Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild. But here it's not damaged. It also does not appear to be covered in malice and floating in the sky. This is adding to the mystery of trying to place events and locations when it comes to Tears of the Kingdom. Zelda then appears at this altar type location, and the gears either side feature the sun symbology I mentioned earlier. It reminded me very much of the Gate of Time. The location itself is pristine and the presentation and technology on display lend an air of significance, and made me feel like it could be somewhere that we've heard before, like the Sacred Realm perhaps. Making a heroic entrance next up is the Master Sword, and it's looking brand new and undamaged. The sword is the key to the Gate of Time after all, and it defeated Demise in the past, so what role it will play here we're not quite sure yet, but the hand reaching for it is not corrupted, it's a right hand as well, and it makes me wonder if this is a memory, calling back to older times, or could it possibly be someone else reaching for the sword? Maybe even Zelda perhaps. Let me know what you think. The story aspects of the trailer really start to ramp up here, and as we hear guidance being given to Zelda in this scene, we see a new figure come into play, and it appears to have the same hand, nails and arm jewelry as the hand that seems to be sealing Ganon in trailers we've seen earlier. The striking symbology reminiscent of both Zonai and Sheikah design in the pendant here, as well as references to the iconic Triforce hinted at in the fabric or garb. He appears to have a golden jewel around his hand that glows in a similar hue to the flash of yellow light that's activated when Link uses the recall ability. Now, could this person be the owner of the mysterious green hand and, potentially, have a connection to the new abilities we see Link using in the trailers? Zelda in this scene also has one tear under her eye. Now, again, the significance could be debatable, but it could also be representing her role as the Sage of Light. The same tear-based shape also appears on other characters in the trailer, and on each occasion I can't help but feel they represent someone of significance, almost those who exist on a deity type level. The next sequence goes quickly, but we see Link parry with a sword shield combo, a large sky sphere that we mentioned earlier, and lastly here we have something interesting. A Goron is attacking Link in what appears to be Goron City. Now this could be hinting at the Gorons maybe having succumbed to the malice that we see in Death Mountain. The next scene was one of my favourites. It's a car full of villagers being towed by Link, suggesting maybe a rescue mission is underway with the aid of custom builds, courtesy of that Ultra Hand ability. After which we see Recall in action, a cool rocket item is also on display, and then we finally see some energized anti-gravity stone plates that look like a fun way to bounce around in the Sky Islands. The railway fight here with the construct again appears to be in the same dungeon location mentioned earlier, but worth noting how much this reminds me of the robots and rails that feature in the Lanayru section of Skyward Sword. Riding into the fray again here, Link gears up for an attack with what appears to be a ruby fused arrow, which is very interesting. Both himself and the horse appear to be decked out in Phantom Ganon-esque garb, even down to the horns. At this Bokoblin encampment we see Link activate what appears to be a Zonai-inspired death trap of lasers before we get a glimpse of the Rito-based mini-boss. This is great confirmation of more big, large-scale enemies in the game, and this one seems to be an ice monster as it rises ferociously from the tornado below. Now, Link here is also decked out in what appears to be some new threads, and there's flecks of a fluorescent blue energy that appear to be coming out of both Link and his feathered companion. Zelda then delivers a soon-to-be iconic line, and we see her holding a tear-shaped or Magatama type jewel. It could be speculated here that it represents her as the Light Sage, and directly under her and her hands lies the Master Sword. This is an intriguing shot by all accounts. Even more mysterious to me is this next scene. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, where Malice explodes from what appears to be the mummified Ganon from the first trailer. But here's the thing, as it rises to its impact point, it seems to hit what is either open air or a flat surface of some description. Now this differs from the initial first look trailers, where it clearly hits an upside down pyramidal ceiling object. This calls the scene into question for me, and it makes me wonder if this is just a design difference that's come out of development, or is it something more? Let me know your thoughts. Next we're treated to a glimpse of Malice fused Lynels with antlers. I'm looking forward to fighting those, before Link is then attacked by an aggressive sentient Malice tendril. This is really interesting again. It looks like it's targeting the Master Sword and corrupting his arm in the process. Now the reason I say it's targeting the Master Sword is because when you actually slow this down, you can almost see it try to yank his arm backwards. Now this is really significant. Obviously the Master Sword plays a huge role in terms of the defeat of Demise, and also as a key to the Gate of Time, as I mentioned earlier. But it also adds more weight to another theory that I'm looking at and discussed in a live stream last week, which I've called the Hand of Power. This is a really interesting one and contains aspects of the symbology we've seen leading up to Tears of the Kingdom, so keep an eye out for that one. And the moment everyone was waiting for, Ganondorf makes a magnificent entrance, exploding in a roar of malice energy and muscles, eyes blazing red, again seemingly infused with malice, and his iconic topaz headpiece beaming with light. It's definitely worth pointing out here that the jewelry and the bracelets are a match for the mummified Ganon from the early trailers, but this version is sporting a sleeve reminiscent of Wind Waker, a full beard, and is lacking the nails and long flowing hair of the Ganon that we see underground. Could there be multiple versions of Ganon in Tears of the Kingdom, or is this just an extreme makeover? Let me know your thoughts. Link gets eerily close to jumping the shark with this new enemy type before we see him with the new Rito companion, and we get a glimpse of what I initially thought to be a character similar to that of Hylia. This includes the jewelry, things like the necklace, the tiara and headpiece, but also the yellow jewel that we see Zelda having in previous scenes. We also see this character wielding the same power that we've seen Zelda use in Breath of the Wild. Interestingly, this character has extended long ears, which is very reminiscent of Hylia and descriptions we've heard in text. It also mimics the figure that's depicted in the monument, and also not dissimilar from the darker figure we've seen earlier. Of note, we can see 8 tear-shaped objects that are seen under the eyes, 4 on each side, and more than coincidental when we consider the 7 sages and hidden 8 theory that I've threaded throughout content on my channel. There's so much to take in here. We've got Riju with an outfit that pays homage to Urbosa, particularly the outfit she's wearing in the Champions Ballad DLC memory where she lays the smackdown. And this is also where we see her using Urbosa's fury, suggesting she's actually attained that power. Another really interesting point here is that Riju is using 2 scimitars of the 7. Now, I feel like this is a cute demonstration by Nintendo to reference both the importance of the sages of the past, as well as those who will play a role in Tears of the Kingdom. If you want to know my thoughts on that, I've reflected on this kind of aspect before in another theory about the 7 heroines. Link heads up a ragtag bunch of warriors, including reps from Gerudo, Goron and Lurelin villages. And of course, the most dangerous foe of them all, Buckethead. Link is also armed with a new weapon of sorts, a Zonai-esque looking sword with the iconic eye shape. Not all the inhabitants of Hyrule though are represented in this particular group, suggesting to me that as Link is able to open up more of the map and perhaps defeat some of the calamities localized there or the mini-bosses we find, we'll be able to recruit other people into our quest to not only customize and rebuild Hyrule, but also defeat the enemy at a larger scale. Here the action is now red hot. We see Link and Sidon team up, and it looks like Sidon is using Mipha's trident, which is again another callback to the previous champions. I'm convinced the 7 sages will make a return in Tears of the Kingdom, and the blue jewel that we can see here on Sidon's hand indicates very much that he's likely to be the Sage of Water. He also appears to be donning the King's crown, which was last seen on King Dorothan in Breath of the Wild. It seems the King may now be swimming with the fishes.
Oh brother, this guy stinks!
The age of our champions and details like this definitely indicate that some time has passed since the events of Breath of the Wild. and then we notice Sidon is flanked either way by Riju and what appears to be Tulin. Tulin is Tiba's son, and if you recall, Tiba was injured in the approach to Var Meta on Breath of the Wild. Could he be replacing Tiba's role potentially as a champion or a sage in Tears of the Kingdom? The fact that Tulin also featured in one of the earliest scenes with the ice monster suggests this could be the case. In the final stretch we see Gleeok, and this time front on we can definitely confirm that those eyes are Malice eyes. It appears like Demise is working his powers through the mini-bosses as well, effectively controlling the map. As Zelda raises the Master Sword, she delivers another iconic line, "Link, you are our final hope," and that was definitely throwing off Star Wars vibes to me, but we then finally end on the shot of the mural expanding on what we've seen previously, and a couple of key callouts here are the reveal of an imposing villain-like looking character channeling either Demise, Ganondorf, or perhaps somebody else entirely. We also have multiple birds featuring at the top there, and a shape that resembles an insert of some description, possibly a cog, and that's something that's been prevalent throughout the trailer. We end with Zelda calling out to Link to come and find her, and it tends to lend some credence to the assumption we've talked about of our characters existing in different worlds or versions of Hyrule. Earlier we heard Zelda say, "I know what I must do," and I can't help but wonder whether the scene takes place before or after that moment. We've covered a lot there. Now it's time to really focus in on some key callouts and predictions. So the open world dungeon solution I predicted in the Shika IMAP video very much looks to be in play to me. I think Nintendo have resolved the issue of how to have dungeons in an open world where players have free traversal for things like speedrunning as well. The mini bosses of the world may not stop Link from getting to where he needs to go, but it will impede the inhabitants of Hyrule, and I feel like that will be absolutely critical to progression and gameplay, as well as customization opportunities and trade. Also, it could play into that aspect we were talking about before, where we can arm groups to assist in the battles we're likely to experience. The Gate of Time references are everywhere in this trailer. They're in the Sanctum, they're in the shot with Zelda at the pedestal, and they feature in that cog sort of insert we see with the extended mural right at the end. Duality continues to permeate the franchise, and this theme also continues in Tears of the Kingdom. We see deity-like characters of both light and dark origin featuring in this trailer, and I'm convinced that this version of Ganon we see is not the same as the one we've seen in the past. I suspect he's of another world, or another version of Ganon, one who will play a pivotal role in the story and indeed the fate surrounding both the Triforce and much more in terms of the world. The muscular build we see is more reminiscent of that of Wind Waker Ganon, and as pointed out by my wife, the mummified version of Ganon from the earlier trailers shares similarities actually with Yuga, an alternate world version of Ganon with long red hair and nails, as well as the iconic head crest. Ironically, this theory is more than intriguing. The story from A Link Between Worlds is set in Lorule, which is an alternate inverse version of Hyrule, pairing perfectly with the duality theme here and tropes like the Seven Sages and a history of darkness from a time where the Lorulean version of the Triforce was destroyed, also playing well into the story aspects we see. Indeed, the villain of that particular piece, Yuga, combined with Ganon in that story to obtain the Triforce of Power, and the very name, that being Yuga, could have been the inspiration for the rebellious Sheikah branch known as the Yiga clan. For my part, I've already predicted a Ganondorf redemption arc is coming, as well as a collaboration of sorts with a version of Ganondorf and Link uniting against a common foe, echoing Zelda's cry to lend him your power. Could we have another Groose and Link team up on the cards? All we need now is the name. Brink? Loose? Actually, I might leave this up to you guys in the comments, let me know what you think. For me, another prediction that's been ongoing is this concept of targeted calamities. It seems to be all but confirmed with the sinkholes we see in the Gerudo Desert. Each calamity here would be targeting Link's allies and was referred to in the line from the February Direct trailer. We're still yet to see any shots of Zora's domain, and we don't really know what's happening there, so I think my prediction of the East Reservoir Dam breaking or being targeted as part of a localized calamity for the Zora is definitely on the cards. Zelda saying "I know what I must do" adds even more weight to her role in the story, and I think it adds a lot more to the playable Zelda theory I've also mentioned before. It actually dates back to my first video, and I think specifically she'll be looking to reunite and empower the sages. My wife observed different shots showing the playable character to have shorter hair, and potentially indicating that Zelda might be the one in the thick of the action at that stage. We know concept art shows her with the new version of the Sheikah Slate, and theories I've covered such as Zelda is the key and Master Theory provide more evidence to support this actuality coming into play. In the gameplay analysis video, I also called out Ionuma's wording and talked about it earlier, specifically that term unfamiliar Hyrule. It was made very deliberately and was used again for this trailer, and I believe this is referring to the different worlds we're going to see at play. Considering Hyrule appears completely distinct, whether it be well-known locations or landscape and topography, I think we can expect alternate versions of Hyrule from that of Breath of the Wild, with other locations potentially including things that call back to earlier parts of the series such as the Sacred Realm or maybe even the Dark World. One prediction I've had for a while is that Demise has set up what I call a triple play, and I think it's coming true. This was covered in previous theories and it includes the Malice video on Master Theory. Essentially, we're saying that Demise and Malice are one and the same, and it is his essence attacking Link and corrupting his arm, very much like we see Ashitaka attacked in Ghibli's Princess Mononoke. The Malice being mined by the monster or demon tribe is eerily akin to the crystallized Malice we see in Skyward Sword. This substance is Malice in its purest form, and I think it might be the key to unlocking Demise's complete resurrection. I also think mythology will be further emphasized in Tears of the Kingdom. We have this concept with Demise where I refer to him more like the characterization of Mikaboshi. This is a callback to Japanese mythology referring to an entity that existed outside of the creation story. Kaboshi is also known as the Dread Star and is characterized by the moon, which nicely fits the role of the moon as the villain of the piece in Majora's Mask, as well as explaining the obsession the Sheikah had with constellations and using observatories. Going further, we can look at the Blood Moon as being the ultimate expression of this power, and Demise as an entity is known to be able to assume other forms as well, which makes me wonder, could he and the dark deity figure from the trailer be one and the same, with this scene depicting the events prior to his war with the gods and the moment his hatred overflowed to become pure malice. I've long said the key to Tears of the Kingdom and the storyline here is understanding the events and what happened prior to Skyward Sword. This story comes in well after the creation tale, and as it introduces Hylia and Demise's opposing forces, it doesn't really answer why Demise is fueled by this hatred he has for the gods, suggesting there's a missing chapter of sorts to this origin story, and one that I think is key to understanding the very fabric of the Zelda universe and this ongoing cycle of conflict. Other aspects of mythology woven into the series include the character of Hylia and Zelda, reflecting Amaterasu, the sun goddess, as well as the Imperial Regalia, which I've mentioned before. Here we have the sword, the mirror, and the jewel, the tear-shaped object right at the center of this particular story. Indeed, the tales surrounding these key items and how they fit into Japan's mythology is also integral to understanding their stories in the Zelda franchise. But my Hail Mary prediction for the story, beyond the redemption arc of Ganon, is that it will be typified with an ultimate betrayal at the end. You see, I think just like Gollum was unable to resist the lure of the ring, Ganon will ultimately choose power when he's confronted with a choice. And I know it's a bit of a long shot, but my gut feels right on this one, so keep an eye out for that. And finally, I want to point out that the Prestige itself, this act of absolutely blowing our minds that Nintendo are currently in the form of doing, well, it's not over yet, it's not complete. Nintendo do have more and it's waiting for launch. Right now, the world is awestruck and focused holistically around what Nintendo have shown us and what we need to obsess over. As the metaphorical magician controlling the show, Nintendo will hold the final act of the Prestige until the very end, come launch day, where they will unveil the unexpected climax that we didn't see coming. And I suspect much of it will relate to the more outlandish type predictions, like those I mentioned earlier, maybe aspects like whether Zelda will be playable, underwater gameplay, or even that multiplayer aspect we'd love to see to be able to play with friends. Expect though that we're going to see further build and customization aspects and ways to truly tailor your world and gameplay, not too dissimilar from the marriage of Minecraft and Breath of the Wild I mentioned in another video. Of course, the final thing is what we don't expect. These are things that can range from Easter eggs and references to past Zelda titles, but more importantly, expect to see more mysteries that are yet to be solved, as well as hints at the future plans of the Zelda series as a whole. Zeldaverse anyone? We'll know soon enough. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video and all the information. A huge shout out to people in the GameSmiths community, whether on stream in the comments section or over at GameSmiths Forge on Discord. Tears of the Kingdom is Game of the Year, there's no doubt in my mind, but more than that, it looks like once again Nintendo is set to revolutionise gaming as we know it, as well as pushing that little Switch beyond its limits. To the team at Nintendo, thank you so much. We are truly humbled by the hard work and perseverance you've shown over the 6 years of development for this amazing game. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, people. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Keep being amazing. We'll see you next time here on GameSmiths.